They said they'll update. I must have done some tests or whatever. You are watching ESPN Cricket Info Match Day in association with our technology partner Vivo. For all the talk of this being a very, very close encounter, in fact, the first half of this match has been completely one-sided, dominated by India. 162 is all that Pakistan could manage all out before they could even play their full quota of 50 overs. Sanjay Manjrekar, Ajit Agarkar, Sakleen Mushtaq join me now. Sakleen, I'll start with you. Things not according to plan for Pakistan?
Very poor performance by Pakistanis. It seems that they have no plan. Obviously, Indian bowlers, they started really well. But obviously, I mean, if they are bowling well, you need to be disciplined. You have to be patient as well. You need to, assess the pitch and then you start your inning. But I think there was no plan whatsoever from the batting lineup. And 30, 40 runs, 40, 45 runs, it's not enough, I mean, when the team is relying on you, even though Babar and Shoaib, they started well, but I think 30, 40 runs, it's not enough, I mean, you have all the burden of the batting and you're the core of the batting lineup. I think you need to carry on. I think Babar, Shoaib, they did well, but I think not enough.
Okay, let's
poor performance from Pakistan.
So I'll come back to you. We'll quickly take a look at the match summary, and this is how the Indian bowlers performed. Great performance there by Kedar Jadhav, picking up the 3 crucial wickets for India. Also, Bhuvneshwar Kumar picking up 3 wickets, and there you have it, Kedar and Bhuvneshwar. Babar Azam with 47 and Shoaib Malik, as Sakleen was mentioning there, that was only that one partnership that helped them reach that 162. Sanjay, one, he says no plan. That's the one thing that comes from there. We'll start with the way the openers got out. Where before the match started, and Sakleen mentioned that they should assess the pitch, take their time. That wasn't the case. Imamul Haq, very circumspect in the first match, in the match that he needed to be, nothing.
Yeah, like when you look at recent Pakistan batting performances, you thought that the openers were taking their time, number 1, 2 and 3, playing the bulk of the overs. And then the rest of the batsmen wouldn't even get a chance to bat. Yeah. So I thought that was the way Pakistan have been building scores, laying a foundation. But today you saw 2 informed batsmen in a lot of hurry. The kind of shots that were played by both the openers, Fakhar Zaman and Imam ul Haq, were like they were trying to exploit the first 10 overs where there were just 2 fielders outside the circle. So that was something that was understood. And they picked the wrong bowler to do that again, because Bhuvneshwar Kumar is a seasoned bowler and the platform wasn't laid down. And after that, it was a little tough.
They were trying to prove Sanjay wrong. He praised their batting so much.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot more, really, because, I've watched these people's highlights when they played well. Yes. They looked compact players, but today you saw them play T20 shots and get out in the first 10 overs.
Now go back to that thing that we discussed right at the start when we were talking about the toss. You said batting gets easy, but then it's a good idea sometimes to bat first to take that pressure off. Now that's the peril of batting first, because then it's a big game, you need to put up a big total, and that's the shot.
Yeah, and almost worried what India could potentially be capable of getting. So you're not quite sure. You still have to, look at the kind of history that this ground had. You want to get to that 260, 270. With their bowling, it always gives them a chance. It was a typical Pakistan sort of batting performance of the old, if you like. India really good, honest, kept it straight. I think Bhuvneshwar Kumar, that's why Bumrah and Bhuvneshwar Kumar are so good. Yesterday, he tried to swing the ball, wasn't much on offer, even though India bowled under the lights. Today was just straight, kept a length which was a touch shorter. And reap the rewards.
And the other thing that's happening with Kuldeep Yadav and the spin element that we have in the middle, you see batsmen now getting out after 40s and 50s. So wickets are falling in the middle stages. So you don't have a batsman who's batting on 100 and playing in the slog overs to make life difficult for the death bowler. You had a said Babar Azam getting 40 and bowled by beauty by Kuldeep Yadav and Shoaib Malik. There's also the run out around the corner with the improved fielding standards. So India's one-day outfit, this has been the mode of winning, doing making a winning impact in the middle stages, and it was seen again today.
Okay, interesting you mentioned about that particular ball, and I'd like some thoughts from Saklain. Was that the ball of the match for you? Kuldeep getting Babar Azam completely deceived him in the flight.
That was beauty, I mean, I really like Kuldeep, the way he bowled in England. I mean, as I mentioned before that, he's a strong guy. He doesn't have a fear to give a bit more air to the ball. I mean, he doesn't bowl quick and pushy kind of deliveries. He just rely on the shape of the ball. He trying to get the maximum revs on the ball, and that is the beauty. I mean, his mindset looks really good, very simple, and he trusts on his variation and trying not to push the ball. I think he's a fine bowler. But Babar Azam, he was playing beautifully. The way he actually responded against Jadev, I think that was poor display from Babar. And I think, when you play against spinners, singles are very important. When if you see that more than 160 kind of, dot balls, these are too many. As I mentioned before, against the spinners, boundaries, if you're looking boundaries, it's not all about boundaries. You need to maneuver, you need to keep tapping, playing into the gaps, and placing and making singles. But I think Kuldeep Yadav bowled beautifully, and Jadhav as well. Chahal, Jadhav, I think if Pakistan wants to play against India and to win, they need to actually learn how to actually make the singles.
Okay, because we're talking about the performance of the Indian spinners as well, we've got a question here coming from Facebook. This is Ali Nawaz, who's actually asking, Sanjay, you would like to take that. He's asking, were Pakistan a batsman short?
When you bat in this fashion, you would think you're a batsman
In
short.
hindsight, yeah.
I mean, I never think when it's a 50 overs game, if you have 5 batsmen, it should be good enough.
Yeah.
If you have a keeper who can bat as well as Sarfaraz Ahmed can, I think it's good enough. It's just about how you bat. And especially in these conditions, these are, good batting pitches. There was no swing, no lateral movement. We've just been to England. We've seen what the ball does there. This ball was coming in one straight line. So it was a poor batting performance. I was slightly surprised to see that from Pakistan. This is the Pakistan that we've seen, as Ajit said, over the last few years. But looking at their scores in recent times, I was expecting something different, something better. Shame that it didn't
I mean, all the more reason that toss, okay, both teams probably got to do what they wanted. India was quite happy chasing in spite of getting or having to get out in that heat. But for Pakistan, I thought they should have put India's batting a bit under pressure after what's happened yesterday as well.
Yeah,
in the middle order. And if they could have priced out one of the 2 openers, I know ifs and buts, Pakistan would have been on top. So toss a little bit strange for me that they decided to
Okay, Saken, because we were talking about the Pakistani batting before the match started, and to be fair to Sanjay, they did have a great record coming in. Would you say that this was an aberration? You must have seen them play a lot recently. Was this an aberration with the way they performed today?
Nikhil, I think before this match, people were talking about if you play well against India, just one inning will make you a superstar. That is wrong. I think if that is going in your head, you will complicate yourself. You can't execute your batting plan. You can't play your natural game. You can't make the thing simple. If you are thinking, oh, one inning will make you a superstar, that is wrong. I think Shoaib Malik said that before the game, and then the other boys they said the same as well. And in media in Pakistan, people were talking about if you play just one inning, it's not just one inning. You need to keep the thing simple, and it's a poor batting from the Pakistani players. They shouldn't be thinking like that. It's you need to make the thing simple and play your natural game. You shouldn't be pushing yourself too much.
Okay, the other bowler who did really well for India, Kedar Jadhav. I'm just listening to the comments that he made right after that 3 wickets that he took. Ramiz Raja asked him, are you now going to take your bowling very, very seriously? He said, what do you mean now? I already take my bowling very, very seriously. That's what he just said in the innings break. Let's talk about his wickets, Ajit. Many say that sometimes he gets lucky, but he's got a few tricks up his sleeve.
I was hoping you don't come to me though to talk about Kedar Jadhav. No, I mean, he's doing a job. I think that's why the more he keeps doing that, he cements his spot in that Indian 15, if not the 11, because he obviously is a batter, but if he can give you a few overs, as it was the case today with Hardik Pandya's injury, and then the bonus of getting wickets every now and then. I mean,
he's the only middle order
yeah,
batsman
nobody
who
in that
bowls
top
a
order
pair.
bowls.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that he's almost confirmed his place. Bowled 7 overs in the last match, 9 in this one.
Right,
and with India wanting to play Hardik Pandya, who's never going to be a 10 overs bowler, they can't go in with 3 seamers where Hardik Pandya is 1 and 2 spinners who are likely to play. And uncertainties, Kuldeep Yadav, Chahal, uncertainties for the World Cup. So increasingly when I'm looking at that whole group of Manish Pandey, Kedar Jadhav, Ambati Rayudu, Dinesh Karthik, Shreyas Iyer, who is coming trumps there, at least from that group, Kedar Jadhav is securing his position in the middle because of his bowling.
Yeah, interesting. We're getting a few questions on
And the
that.
other thing is,
go ahead, Sakleen. Yeah.
The other thing is, I mean, if you see that you can't, it seems that he doesn't have so many skills. But the thing is, mentally he's very strong, he's very sharp, and he knows his strength. He knows how to execute his bowling plan, and he works against the batsman really well. I mean, in terms of skills, I mean, it looks that he doesn't have so many tricks, or he doesn't have magical deliveries, but I think he's very sharp in head.
Sakleen is so right, because Sakleen, if you remember, when he started bowling, there was a new batsman who came in to bat, and suddenly his arm was very straight. The moment Shoaib Malik was on strike, the arm went sideways. And also in his first 4 deliveries, he bowls with a straight arm. But as the over is good and quiet, he doesn't want to finish with a 4 and 6. And the last 5th and 6th ball are sort of side arm delivery. So he's very smart,
Tactically,
smart
he's very
kind
strong.
of cricketer.
Yeah, but
Not your
Technically
kind of
very
skill,
strong.
Sakleen, but very effective.
yeah, well, no, but talking about skills, have you seen him? I mean, as you say, there is that ball that he throws almost side arm. Now got the looping delivery. 1 wicket we saw almost deceived in the flight. The other match you saw him 1 ball that turned away.
You were very impressed with that ball, like a
yeah,
leg cutter.
it went like that. So I mean, I've never seen him bowl that. So clearly he's been.
No, the one thing he doesn't try to overdo is try and take wickets. He knows his role is to come and bowl those 4 or 5 overs or 6 overs, and with his kind
Makes
of bowling.
full use of his height.
Yeah.
People use
Or the
the
lack of
height. Yeah, height is either tall or short. So he makes full use of his low release point, his stature, and everything.
Okay.
So interesting that Kedar Jadhav is becoming the front runner now amongst all the middle order batsmen.
Okay, we've got a question here which is related to that. Sanjay, you take that. Sameer Jha wants to know on Facebook. He's watching the show. Says, will we ever see Ashwin play for India in the one-day format?
See, the last time Pakistan played India, Ashwin gave away 7 runs and over, Jadeja 8, and that proved to be one of their last matches that they played for India with 50 overs cricket. Chahal and Kuldeep Yadav are making it extremely difficult for them to come back, and you see the impact they make in the middle overs. So, doesn't look like it's likely, but you've got to admire Ashwin for what he did in the IPL this time round. Captain Kings 11 Punjab, developed the leg spinner, and I think he had a very good season as a spin bowler in Indian conditions. T20 not easy, so he's
There's
doing his
already
bit.
Akshar Patel as well in the squad.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's doing his bit, Ashwin, to get back in, but it's proving to be more and more difficult. Here's another game where Kuldeep Yadav gets a very crucial wicket at an important stage and gets India back in the match. So very difficult.
Okay, Sakleen, because you were saying no plan. Pakistani batsman came with no plan. The other bit could be, as Sanjay had mentioned right at the start, this Indian team is very different to the team that played the Champions Trophy final because you've got a Chahal and a Kuldeep Yadav.
Yeah, definitely in bowling unit, and like I said before, no plans. But the other thing is, Pakistan, they are very, whenever shaky start. Whenever we play against India, if you see in Champions Trophy, first game we lost against India, we always have a shaky start. That is another problem, and we are not good to finish the game. That is another problem which we need to actually sort out. If we will not sort out in a pressure game, we won't be able to execute our batting plan.
Okay, let's look forward to now the Indian batting. Hardik Pandya, the latest update that we're getting, acute back injury that he's got. Ajit, you could take this today, or will they miss him, or do you expect the top order to just get this done?
I mean, if they miss him, then they are in trouble. Ideally, they shouldn't. I mean, we saw the batting conditions improve under lights yesterday. Okay, Pakistan's a different attack, and you still have to go out and get that 162. But India would back with the kind of batting that they have. Hardik Pandya is their 7th batter today. So if your 6 won't do the job, then you're in real trouble. So hopefully India doesn't miss him.
Okay. The only positive that I can see from that particular injury was Manish Pandey came into the field and made a difference with his fielding.
Yes, for a moment I thought Virat Kohli was on the field because he looks so much like him, and it's great to see, people like him. Very good catch, and you see that kind of magic happen a lot on the boundary. I mean, he looked superb with the way he sort of threw the ball back into play, and amongst the middle order again, the asset that he has is of course his fielding. Kedar Jadhav has got the bowling as something to back him. So there's a nice little contest going on between these middle order, contenders. So nice to see him, Manish Pandey, making some contribution there.
Okay, question related to that. Jitain asks on Facebook. Ajit, I'll put that to you. Going forward, if there will be no Hardik Pandya, who's the all-rounder? Akshar, would you say? Who plays the all-rounder's role there?
Yeah, I mean, they played with
Like
5
Kedar is
bowlers
already
against Hong Kong. You'd have to think Akshar, but then again disturbs you. With this kind of sort of rules that are in place with 5 fielders in the ring, you sometimes need 3 seamers in your squad. It becomes a lot harder with 3 spinners to control the game.
Get one pure seamer in, Ajit, because you can have, if you have Kedar Jadhav batting at number 6 with Dhoni as your number 5, you can afford to have a seam bowler.
That would be ideal if these 4, 5, 6 start batting a bit better. So that will be the worry. I mean, we don't know. There's 3 days to the next game, so hopefully they can patch him up a little bit. But I mean, the top 5 or 6 have to do the job.
But we are not sure whether
he's out or not.
Because if you remember that IPL game when he had that injury just before the innings folded, he came back and bowled in a little while. So who knows?
Yeah, this looked.
Quick recovery usually.
But this looked more dangerous, and we've got an update from the BCCI,
acute,
which still means that it could be serious. Who knows if it comes out to bat or not? But as Ajit was saying, probably, if India do end up needing him, they are in trouble at that moment. Okay, now the Indian batting. What would you like to see? I'm really interested to see MS Dhoni. I mean, he's not got a bit of runs. Would you then send him a bit up? Then
Dhoni has done his job. He's kept wickets well. He's got a few stumpings. So you're expecting too much from Dhoni. These days, that Dhoni of the past who used to be your, game-changing batsman down the order, win you all those tight matches. I think those days are gone. So our expectations of Dhoni have to be slightly different. Look at him as a keeper, as a mentor to the young players around him, and somebody who can still turn it on when it's needed. But the batting responsibility has to be shouldered by all these guys now. Raidu is in. Karthik has got to make an impression. Kedar Jadhav get runs. Rohit Sharma's one-day career has been very interesting, where there are lots of low scores, and when he gets a big one, he gets a big one. So maybe more consistency from Rohit Sharma.
Okay, but we would also like MS Dhoni to get some run. Would this be a good match to send him up there to
Not really. I think you still want to win the game. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong that Raidu or Dinesh Karthik yesterday have done. So I can't imagine him walking ahead of them.
4?
I mean, you're trying to find another player to fit into that middle order.
This is very interesting. When it comes to Indian cricket, we think about how Dhoni can fit into. It should be the other way around. How Indian cricket can fit Dhoni in so that they are likely to win more matches than lose some matches. From there.
So did you want me to ask the question? Does he fit into the team?
He fits in at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, because come the big stage and pressure games, his batting might come to the fore, and as I said, game-changing spinners in the middle, and Dhoni has done brilliantly behind the stumps. So on current form and current value, but Rishabh Pant is a very strong contender.
Okay, now 162 is what Pakistan got. Sakleen, you'd say India odds-on favourite to win the game from here. If Pakistan have a chance, what do they need to do then?
Early wickets and just wickets and wickets. I mean, if you want to be in the game, you have to take wickets and you have to attack and you have to play aggressive cricket. That's it. I mean, if you are not taking wickets, you are out of the game.
Can Pakistan seamers exploit this pitch, Sakleen, and get wickets? They must be good at bowling on these kind of pitches, right? Seam bowlers.
I think they have the potential if they can get the shape up right of the new pill, and if they're taking wickets, and if the ball is coming into and we have like left armers Armour and then Shinwari, if their utilization of the new pill was right, I think there is a possibility that we can fight. But I think it will be very difficult for Pakistan to win this game. But they need to show some fight.
Okay, the one thing that Sakleen says, if you have any chance of winning this game for Pakistan, they'd have to pick some early wickets, and one wicket that they desperately want to pick early is that of the Indian skipper in Rohit Sharma. We've got a few numbers for you with regards to how Rohit has performed against left-arm seamers and this is just with Mohammad Amir. He hasn't had a great time in those 5 innings, 3 dismissals, Sanjay, but I don't know. Would you say not the same Amir, those 5
Yeah, but
innings?
still he has a technical issue with left-arm seamer. So if it's not even the same Amir, but he can produce somewhere close to the kind of deliveries that trouble him. Start of the inning, small step forward, and
You
if the
only
ball
need
comes
one ball to swing. Really.
The other thing was, Sakleen, as Sanjay mentions on that same subject, he said, even if Amir isn't that great, left arm seamers is the issue. That's with Rohit Sharma, and then Pakistan have got plenty of those in this match, and Usman is one bowler that he hasn't faced as yet.
Obviously, Pakistan, they heavily rely on Amir as a striker, and then obviously the whole bowling unit revolve around Mohammad Amir. He's not taking wickets. That is the concern. And he understands as well. He knows that the Pakistanis they are relying on him, but I think Azhar Mahmood need to look into that, and they need to work on that. As Sanjay just mentioned, that there is some technical things which they need to be. He just mentioned that. I think Azhar need to look into that if there is any technical issues. But I think. I'm happy the way he's bowling. I know he's not taking wickets, but he's not that. He's very economical, and he's bowling in a difficult situation, like in depth bowling, and then he's bowling in a power play. But he need to take wickets as well.
Tell us about Hassan Ali. How is his current form, and what do you expect from him? He's another star bowler for Pakistan, isn't it?
Yeah, we haven't spoke about Hassan Ali. He's another young superstar from Pakistan. He's very kind of aggressive and attacking kind of a bowler, but he doesn't enjoy the new ball. I think if Amir and Hassan start the bowling attack, then there is a possibility that we'll get the early wickets. But at the moment, his form is not like very consistent too. He even had a great PSL, and after that, I think he was struggling a bit of injury. So his form is going up and down as well at the moment.
Okay, well, that's interesting because he is their #1 bowler at the moment, Hassan Ali. But Pakistan in general, and especially the medium pacers or the fast bowlers that they have been doing exceedingly well for them since 2017. If you look at the best averages for pace bowling in ODI since 2017, Pakistan right on top with an average of 25. I'm a bit surprised there's no India here, considering, the Indian fast bowlers have been doing rather well. Ajit, you'd say that if there is one pace attack that can put India under pressure,
yeah, and the one thing they'll probably know is if they get the 2 openers out quickly, with this 162, there'll still be a lot more pressure on India. They need both of them out, because if one of them bats, they usually end up getting a 60, 70 or 80 or 100 at times. So that'll make life easier for India. They need both those guys out. And this attack's capable. I mean, they've done that before to India.
And under lights, you think the ball
there might be the first couple of overs there was a little bit of shape yesterday night. If Amir gets that in the first couple of overs, could be tricky for India, but they need the ball to do a little bit at least. The first 2 new balls, so you expect it at least the first couple
and
of
I think
overs.
it will be Usman Khan who'll bowl with Mohammad Amir. I think they'll get 2 left-arm seamers to bowl with the new ball. Hassan Ali is very interesting. He's their #1 bowler, but he sometimes comes in as a 4th or 5th change, to bowl. So you have Fahim, Ashraf and all these people bowling, and then you have Hassan Ali coming in. So 2 left-arm seamers to contend with, and that's the reason Indian team had that guy to do the throwdowns with the left hand
yes,
from Sri Lanka. So we'll see whether that will work today.
Just going back to Hassan Ali, Sakleen, what is it that really makes him that dangerous in the middle over? That's the time where most other bowlers struggle to pick up wickets. He ends up picking up a lot of wickets in that. Is he different from the other bowlers? What makes him so effective?
He's a bit nippy and sharp as well. And the good thing is that he bowls very tight line, and the ball which comes in, that is his dangerous ball. And he tries to get wicket every ball. He's quite aggressive. I mean, if you see that his He's that kind of a person who's very energetic all the time, and I think that is his attitude, that is his mindset as well. That is his strength, you know, which is nippy, sharp. The ball which comes in, that is his wicket-taking ball. He's not that tall, you know, he's not that big, and he's normal height, you know, but he's quite nippy and sharp.
Okay.
The other thing is, you know, when you look at Pakistan's great bowlers, you think of Wasim Akram, Waqar, you know, their length has always been full, quick in the air, swinging the ball. Hassan Ali is an exception. He's a guy who hits the deck like, you know, bowlers from South Africa. So all his movement is off the pitch, and even on the deadest of pitches you'll get some lateral movement off the pitch. So he hits the shot of length, and from there he sort of deceives you by speed or lateral movement. He's not somebody who will get the ball boomeranging in or bowl it full. He's sharp but very unique in